The NFL preseason is upon us, but controversial quarterback Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. Kaepernick created a firestorm last season by kneeling before the national anthem, and that was obviously before games, to protest police violence and racial injustice. Now, during the offseason, several other free agent quarterbacks have been signed to contracts, but Kaepernick's still looking for a team. Commissioner Roger Goodell says Kaepernick is not being blackballed by the league because of his political views, but some team owners have admitted to being concerned about fan backlash for signing the signal caller. But now supporters are taking the opposite side and threatening to boycott the league if Kaepernick isn't signed by a team this season. A petition on change.org reads, "Show your power by boycotting the NFL until Kaepernick gets signed to a team. This means to not watch any games, no social media comments about your favorite team before, during, after the games. Don't attend the stadiums, and don't buy any merchandise which represents the league or your favorite team." The petition has over 150,000 signatures as of this afternoon and is aiming for 1 million by September 7th when the regular season starts. So which group of fans will the league cave to? Let me bring in Lawrence Jones from TheBlaze TV. Lawrence, welcome back.
Hey, Kennedy.
So this is a really interesting situation you have, because Colin Kaepernick was one of the brightest stars in the league. Yeah, he was. And then his performance slipped considerably. I know this because my stepdad used to curse about it as a lifelong 49ers fan. And then when his arm really crapped out, that's when he took a knee. Our team's obligated to sign Colin Kaepernick because he's got fans out there who agree with his political views.
Yeah, so it's interesting because when it comes to Colin Kaepernick, my first question is always, where was your pivot? The Colin Kaepernick that I know that went to the Super Bowl, who was a quarterback, a starting quarterback, who was on the cover of magazine, didn't ever mention this. It was only until his career started to go down when he started bringing up these issues. Yeah. But that's irrelevant. I'll let him bring up the issues. The question is, does the NFL have the right to essentially not put him on the field because he brings down ratings? Yeah. And I think that is the big question. I think people forget that the NFL, it's not just about sports. It is entertainment, and it's about money at the end of the day. Yeah. And when you talk to people that actually watch the game of football and they say, hey, the reason why I'm not watching is because I feel like he was disrespecting the flag, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree, it hurt the ratings.
Yeah, it hurt the bottom line. And you know, I guess it's a question of whether or not it's the league telling teams they can't sign him, or if these individual teams see that revenues have been hurt by the fact that the audience has shrunk by 20% last season. ESPN has admitted that publicly. So maybe it's the individual teams who are choosing to not sign him. Do they have that right?
Exactly, and that's the problem. You have people that were essentially upset about it, and this is governed by the fans. Yeah. The fans are responsible for the salaries. They pay for the tickets. The fans are the ones that attend the games. The fans are the ones that buy the jerseys. Everything that we do in the entertainment industry is by the viewership, by the fans.
Of course, I mean,
so when the fans, when the fans say no, that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, and that's how the marketplace works in a free market. Unfortunately, it has taken a really divisive turn. This is a quote from Najee Ali. She's a leader of a local chapter of Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network. And she says about Colin Kaepernick in the situation, quote, "The NFL is a form of the modern-day plantation. They're treating Kaepernick like a runaway slave, making him an example so other players get the message. Do not get too uppity or we will blackball you. The parallels are very much like slavery, except the players are million-dollar slaves under contract who have made billions for the NFL." Is that an appropriate comparison?
I'm trying not to curse on national TV. I mean, these are people that make millions of dollars. And you know the interesting thing about that point? Why is Colin Kaepernick telling young black men and people of color that they can't make it after he made it? And so that's the problem. That's the real argument right here. After you have been successful, after you have $1 million home and $1 million cars, and you can eat at whatever restaurant you want to eat at, now you're going to tell the people from the same community that you grew up in that they can't make it because of oppression. Yeah. And why wouldn't you bring them an inspirational message?
It is a merit-based system. The better you play, the more money you make. And, you know, Colin Kaepernick turned himself into a polarizing figure after some of his talent faded, and now he's wondering why his fortunes have shifted. And I guess you're seeing all of that play out. The teams will decide. We'll see if the change.org petition works. Do you think this is going to work?
No, I don't think it's going to work. There's not enough people upset about it. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. Yeah. And people want to watch football. They don't care about your political leanings. If he was a great like an Ali or LeBron James, then somehow he can garner the support to actually have this, I guess, political revolution. But I don't think he has enough support to actually do that. I think you can both support Colin Kaepernick and not agree with him kneeling for the national anthem.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing that ticked Americans off.
No, if he were still a winning quarterback, I think there'd be a much greater appetite for his political protest.
Exactly, and he's not.